This is Mary at Voces Digital. Today, I'm going to describe creating a new assignment with rubric grading and what that means to you. We get this question a lot, so we just wanted to create a video to show our teachers how to create an activity. In this case, we'll do a recording activity, and also how to create a rubric, an individualized rubric, in order to grade that activity. So I'm already logged into my Spanish Novice title here. Now just keep in mind you can do this from any of our titles. You'll have the same functionality as you do here. Remember, at the bottom are all of your various icons. At the very bottom right, next to the log out button, there is the teachers panel. We're going to click here and then click in this middle button with the pencil. That is our Voces editor. First, we'll have to choose the chapter that we place our new activity into. In this case, I'm going to just pick chapter 1, and I'm going to go down into the actividad and create a new group. New group is basically a section. It doesn't contain anything, but creates a new section that you can place an activity into. So go ahead and create this new group. I'm going to name it Extra Activity. You can name it whatever you like, and then click this Create button. And then because I opened up chapter 1 and I opened up Actividad, that's where they're going to nest that new activity. But you still have the option to move it in, move it out of this category, or move it into a different activity, for example. Now that I have my group, this exists, but it has no content. So in order to add content, we're going to click this button, Add Page. So we'll go ahead and click Add Page, and then just accept this by clicking Add. This is where I can create a page identifier. This allows me to see it later under my Manage My Pages, so you can reuse or make a copy of it. It's not necessary, but that's just if you wanted to reuse it later. And in this scenario, I'm going to create a recording activity, and this is where you pick your grading style at the bottom. That's going to be rubric, because that's what we're showing you today. Now you'll notice in the rubric, you have the option right at the bottom here to select a template. You can pick either interpersonal speaking or writing, presentational speaking or writing. These are ones we've created in advance, but today I'll show you how to create your own. The criteria is what you're judging the points levels on, and the levels are the different categories and basically the proficiency that your students can finish in. Level 4 would be the highest proficiency. Level 3 would be the next, all the way down to level 1. So you want to create the best explanations on level 4, and then the insufficient, not meeting expectations in level 1. So just to give you an idea of this, because I'm doing a recording activity, I will put clarity of speaking as one of my criteria, and the creativity of the answer as my other criteria. Then I've created some suggestions in advance of how I can grade these from level 4, which is again is the best, all the way down to level 3. And this is just so we have some actual examples of what you can use. If you want to save this template, you have the option to do that for later on. You want to if you want to reuse it again, then it'll show up right here as one of the templates you've created. So we're going to create this page. Finally, you're done with the rubric grading, you're done with your template. Now you get to create a new section. And since this is a listening activity, I'm just going to create a student recording. which means that the student would have that record button that they can record their answers on. When you create the student recording, the first thing you'll have is this blank field where you enter directions. So you can say anything about it, like follow the recording prompts below. We'll create this section, and then when you add the questions, I'll create some very simple questions because we are in chapter 1. So for example, introduce yourself, your name and age. Once we add that question, you'll see that recording button pop up, and that is exactly how your students will see that question as well. So 2 very simple questions. It numbers them automatically because we have 2 questions. It puts a 1 and a 2 next to it. So we're done with this page and we're going to save it. Close out this editor. You have this extra activity now. And remember to always save that, all of the work that you've been doing at the very top, or it's not going to save that new group that you created. So the next thing I'm going to do is assign this activity to one of my classes so you can see what that looks like when we go into grade it. So let me pull up that activity that we just created. Put it under Actividad, and at the very bottom, this is the extra activity I created. Everything's going to be functional for your students to be able to record and then stop recording. The assign tool is here, this with the star. You have the option to apply a due date, but remember with recording activities, there's not going to be a number of submission attempts. Basically, once they're done, they're going to say that they've completed the activity and that'll submit it. I'll assign this to class 1. Okay, so some time has passed after I assigned this activity. My student has completed it, and I'm going to show you what that looks like now. We're going to go into the teacher's panel and go into grading and results, which is the second option here. My class 1 student completed this, at least one of them did. So whenever you have something show up here under requires grading, it means your students completed that activity. Let me open the class 1 and find that extra activity that I made. So that was under chapter 1, Actividad, extra activity, and this is when it was completed. Click on the student's name to open that. Then you'll have the option to play back exactly what they recorded. So you'll be able to listen to that student answer. Hi, my name is Mary. I'm 32 years old and I work at Voces. Then you can decide based on the proficiency level, what do you want to give them for a grade? And it's very simple to see. That rubric I created shows up right here. It goes from the 4 to the 1. Let's say they did an excellent job, and then I can leave some notes. And we'll save that. And that's as simple as rubric grading is. Thanks for watching. Let us know if you have any other questions. And again, it's Mary at Voces.